back to my channel. So for today I wanted to talk about something very important for 2018, and that's being financially fit. I am not a person who is licensed in anything financial. I am just somebody who enjoys it and has gotten out of debt using the Dave Ramsey method or plan, and definitely check him out. I'm a firm believer in what he practices and what he preaches. And so see if you can use some sort of motivation from that to get your 2018 to be the year that you're financially fit. Okay, so let's jump right into it. What does that mean? So first of all, create a plan. What is it that you want to accomplish? Do you want to save money? Do you want to get out of debt? Do you just want to know better where your finances are going? You have to have a plan that is measurable and with direction, or else you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to spin wheels. I have a little cheat sheet written down here so I can know what to discuss. So budget. Budget is the next most important thing. You can't know where to move your money or where you can put it or how to get out of debt if you have no clue how much you have. So I suggest sitting down each week and planning ahead. So in order to do that, I'll show you what I have done. I have mine covered up, but for the past few years, this is what I do. I don't want to show my actual numbers, okay? But I have money moves is what I call it. So at the top of this, I write our monthly bills. I have the day of the week that it comes out. I have who it goes to and how much. I also have a column for weekly. The weekly bills, I like to break things down into weekly increments. So I have our mortgage that goes out weekly, I have some charitable contributions that go out weekly, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then these are the things that have to be paid for. The other thing that I write on my plan is how much I have on things that I know I can spend on, like groceries or gas or car expenses, etc. So the first thing is to sit down, know what your bills are, and kind of come up with that so you know where your money moves are going to go. Then look at how much money you have that comes in, and then figure out if you have anything left over, and if you don't, then you need to cut. Some things that we cut just along the way were things like cable. We got rid of cable. Everybody uses YouTube and things like that. So, or there are streaming services now like DirecTV. Do things like that. Do your own nails. Go longer without getting your hair done. Anything you can do. Quit your gym membership to get more money and squeeze it out. The next thing I did, or I wanted to talk about, was when you look at your budget, make sure that you pay for the most important things first. If you don't have any money, then you need to make sure that it's going where it needs to go. You need somewhere to live, you need food, you need water, you need utilities, you need transportation, you need those most important things to be up to date and taken care of. Again, and do what you can to find money to pay towards those or get extra income. Okay, and then again, look ahead at things. Don't just write in your checkbook like, okay, this is what I spent this week. You need to know like what you've spent, but not only that, but where you're going to end up spending it. You know that you have bills every month, so don't stick your head in the sand like an ostrich. And then most importantly, when you get done with that and you have money that you need to take out each week, take it out in cash. So when you go to the grocery store, you go to Target, or you go to get gas or whatever, you only have that certain amount of money every week, and when the cash is gone, it's gone. And that was one of the biggest, most helpful things to do, and it makes your accounting a lot easier too, because you don't have all these random swipes coming out from a card. It's just concrete cash. Here goes, here's some for the husband, here's some for me, and when it's gone, see you next week. I mean, it's only 1 week, you can survive, or do it every 2 weeks, whatever works best with your finances. Okay, the next thing to do is to establish an emergency fund. So Dave Ramsey suggests $500 to $1,000, a baby starter emergency fund, because most people don't have an emergency fund. So even just that little bit is better than anything. So anything you have extra, just build that up. Once you get that going, you want to take anything else extra and start paying off your debt. So at that point, this is where you start his like snowball, he calls it. So you would pay the minimum on any debt that you have, that you're obligated to have, and then pick and then line them up smallest to largest debts, and then pay any extra on the smallest one until you knock that one out. Then roll that one to the next one, and so on and so forth. So if you had a credit card, I don't know, that cost you $25 a month, it only had a $100 balance, you were able to put forth enough money to pay that off, then you would take that $25 a month and add it on to the payment that you normally do for the next one in line. And then the next thing you know, you've got this big snowball to just knock things out. And he says to do smallest to largest because it's not about money, like it's not about math. It's not about what interest rate or something like that. That's not what's keeping people in debt. It's more about their behavior patterns and not having a plan at all. So the little rewards that you get from being able to just mark those off, he says keeps people motivated, and that's what he's found from doing this over the years that works for him. So, and it works for us. So we are debt free except for our mortgage, and we have a rental home as well that is debt free. We have a rental home and our primary residence that have mortgages. Everything else in our lives are owned debt-free. Let's see. And then if you're someone like where we are, what we're doing next is we're just creating that larger emergency fund. So you would have 3 to 6 months of emergency fund that encompasses your expenses. So not how much you make in a month, but how much you would need to pay for your expenses in 3 to 6 months. And then we're also working on a pool fund. So that's our next big milestone, is we want to pay for a pool in cash. But we'll see. We'll see where that lands us, because it's not always about that goal. It's, finding enjoyment in life, finding vacations, that's kind of things, but that's kind of where we're heading next. And then it's working on ramping up your retirement, your kids' college funds, paying off your mortgage debt. We have our house on, we owe less than 15 years on our primary residence. So lots of things like that to help get your finances where you can be debt-free, and giving and saving where you want to do it. And then most importantly, he says things that are very motivating, like don't buy things that you can't afford with money you don't have to impress people you don't know. And I mean, that's profound. Think about that. Don't keep up with the Joneses because the Joneses are broke. So all of these things have worked for us. I hope they work for you. The biggest moral of this whole plan is to get organized with your finances and have a plan and stick to it. You don't have to be all or nothing. We still enjoyed things, we still did things, but you just have to figure out what works best for you. For example, it took us 4 years to do this. That sounds like a long time, but I was finishing up my master's degree, and I ended up paying for that out of pocket. So that greatly reduced the amount that we could put towards our debt, but it worked. And now looking back, 4 years seemed like it flew by in a flash. The other day I came across my first planner from where I had started this plan, and I feel like I wrote that yesterday. During the process, it seemed hard at times, or it seemed very long, but then it was really doable. And you find that as you go through it, all of a sudden it just seems like you have more and more and more money, and it's because you're freeing up money, you're being better organized with it, you're working together, and you're looking for ways to decrease expenses and increase income, and it just works out. So I hope that's helpful for you, and good luck with 2018. You can start now. Thanks.